welcome. I'm Emily Huber, and we're in Prospect Park in Brooklyn, New York at Seen Through the Hand Studio. Today we're going to do a little bit of self-care with positional therapy. We're going to do a 4-part series, and today we're just focusing on the self-care piece. The premise of positional therapy is to bring the origin and the insertion of the muscle closer. So it's like a rope. Beginning of the muscle, end of the muscle. Bringing it closer. The muscle is now slackening. And with that, holding that for a minute, the muscle just releases. It's a really amazing, magical technique. We often think about stretch and we think about strength. What can we do to strengthen our body? What can we do to stretch our body? And then we're going to be completely well-rounded. Well, those two are very, very necessary. We need the stretch, we need the strength, but we need the slack. And positional therapy comes with the slack. The slackening releases the muscles. The slackening allows us to let go and allow ourselves to strengthen more and stretch deeper. Now we're going to do one that works with stretching and slackening our hips and strengthening our inner thighs. Often we end up sitting like this. We're like, oh, la, la. We don't even realize it, but we're externally rotating. And with an external rotation, we're tightening our outside thigh and we're overstretching our inside thigh. We're going to bring our toes in and pigeon toe only sitting down. Don't pigeon toe when you stand, that causes too much pressure on the knees. But pigeon toe sitting down. And what this does is this tightens and strengthens our inner thighs and stretches and slackens our outer thighs, which is really important to do because we always external rotate when we're walking, when we're doing these, when we're standing unconsciously, we're externally rotating. So just by doing this small little action, we can create movement. We can slacken and strengthen and stretch and strengthen all in one. When you bring your toes in, 1, 2, you're really having it come from the hips. So my hips are saying, all right, toes, bring it in. My other hip is saying, okay, coming from the toe, bring it in. And you could sit like this when you're eating at a table, when you're on the subway, when you're sitting in a car, whatever. Any way that you need to sit, anytime you're sitting, this is what you should be doing now. And ironically, it's so easy to do and it makes a world of difference. Ironically, what I'm doing right now is going to release the upper back, the erector muscle, which is the muscle right next to the spine. So you can find it, you go, oh, here's a little tender. Okay, how do I fix that? Well, you put your elbows on the ground, you put your chin right on your palms, and you hold this for minimum a minute. And as long as you breathe deep and hold for a minute, you're going to release the erector spinae muscle. So I'm just breathing, smiling, and a minute passes and I check it out, poof, gone. Instant gratification. So who knew this could be beneficial? So now we're going to find a tender spot on our hips. So positional therapy believes that everything stems from the hips. So the hips are like a foundation of the house. When the foundation goes, the first thing to go is the chimney, which is the neck and shoulders. And often we have so much neck and shoulder stuff going. And it can all be helped by just helping the foundation, which are the hips. So what I'm going to do is I'm like, oh, this is a little tender. For me, the spot is right here. But it could be here, it could be here, it could be anywhere on your hip. So whatever resonates with you, the most sharpest pain, work with that. Remember where that is? I bring my knee up and I'm like, oh, it still feels a little tender, so I bring it higher. Oh, it's released. But if it's not released, I then would put a pillow or something to elevate right here, and I would just hold it here and put my head down and I'd hold this for a minute. And by doing this for a minute, I'm releasing the hips. Now if it feels too much to bring it all the way up, that's okay. Just bring it partially up and elevate it. Make sure if you're only going a little bit way, you're elevating. Now we're going to do the other side so we can feel the benefits. Just doing one side, I already feel so off balance, so we're going to balance me out. All right, so here I am, and I'm going to lift it up. Oops, I'm gonna find my tender spot. There it is. Lift it up. Tender spot is gone. Hold it for a minute, and all we're doing is we're bringing origin of the muscle, the beginning of the muscle, closer to the insertion of the muscle, the end of the muscle, and holding for a minute, slackening the muscle. And releasing. There's a spot is gone. We're going to work with our knee point, and sometimes I find a point right on the inside, the medial side. Here it is a little tender. All we're going to do is cross the knee over, internally rotate, check out, oh, it's gone, and hang out over here for a minute. Easy to do, hanging out with friends. So you can just do it crossing your legs, easy breezy. This could work. When we slacken, we relax. When we relax, we have more breath. When we have more breath, we have more movement. When we have more movement, we're often happier. Other side, so I check it out. Oh, point gone. So here it is. I go to the top of the kneecap, right here. A little tender. Could be a little lower, could be a little higher. Bring it in, and immediately rotate. Hold it for a minute, hang out, talk to your friends, and releasing. All right. Now we're going to work on our forearm extensor muscles. So those are right next to the elbow on the outside, the lateral side. They're often tender. So I'm touching a pot, ooh, a little tender. So all I'm going to do now, I'm not going to stretch it, I'm not going to strengthen it, but I'm going to slacken it. And by slackening it, I take the opposite hand and I hold the outside of the right hand and I twist it. And just hang out here for a minute. And I breathe, and after a minute I find that spot and it's gone. Now we're going to take it a step farther. We're going to turn to the back, put the hands in the back, twisting it, and now I'm slackening my forearm extensors and I'm slackening my upper back, which also, by holding your hands this way, this can just be how you start talking to people. You start presenting yourself in a strong, confident way. Not only will you be gaining slackening in your rhomboids, but you'll also be slackening your forearm extensors, which slackening can also think about softening. Slackening is softening. And who doesn't want to be soft? So now we're going to find a tender spot in our thumb, the big muscle, the thenar eminence. The thumb is such a tender joint, like it's attached to the saddle joint, and it does so much, and it's very easily injured. So what we want to do is find this tender spot, feel it, and now origin to insertion, squeezing your hand, holding it for a minimum a minute, and then releasing. And it's gone. Thanks for experimenting with me at Seeing Through the Hand Studio in Prospect Park, Brooklyn, New York. Please go to NewYorkCityMassageandYoga.com for more information, and I look forward to the next time.